people in this room, including John Jardine and Keith Tully and a bunch of other people have joined us in the Entre room. If you want to see the visuals and you're close to a computer, feel free to join the conversation on joinentre.com. I'm pushing them as well because they have DeSo integration. Anything that is incorporating DeSo into their platform, we love to talk about it. We started a new room. I'll take questions in the chat. We did a little already, people had joined us in the previous room, a little recap of what decentralized social media is. Did you want to do it again, John? Because we have now 72 people listening and more people have joined the conversation. It's all yours, John.
Thanks, Alex, and welcome everyone again. So we mentioned that DeSo stands for Decentralized Social. Now, what does Decentralized Social mean? In order to understand that, let's just go back to the general social platforms like your Twitters, your Facebook, your LinkedIns, and then your video platforms like your Instagrams and TikTok and so on. These platforms are what we call centralized. They are governed by a central authority. It is whenever you post a tweet, that tweet gets stored on Twitter's data center. It's their computers. They officially own the data. Obviously, the relationship of that data is dependent on the terms and conditions that you agree to when you join their platform. But ultimately, they have that data and you're at the mercy of whatever they plan on using it for, whether it be their own analytical reasons or whether they try and do something maybe malicious with it. I'm not here to cause waves, but we've seen crazy stuff happen in the past with some of these platforms. So the issue over there is that even though you posted that content, you are not the owner of that content. The platform is the owner of that content, the Twitters and the Facebooks and all of them. The second issue is that if you post something on Twitter and you want something to say, but then you want to go onto Facebook or you want to go somewhere else and you want to say that same thing, you're going to either have to repost that content or you're going to have to create that content in a certain format. You might have something to say on Twitter, but you now have to create a video equivalent on Instagram or TikTok in order to say that. And even if it's still text, you have to go to Facebook and you have to repost that on Facebook in order to get that point across. So the second issue over there is that you have to duplicate the content to exist on all these central platforms, all right? And yes, there are integrations where if you post something on Instagram, auto post to Facebook. Yes, I get that, but you get my point. You can't sort of be everywhere and you can't have that content sort of available across all these platforms. The final issue or the problem that I need you to sort of think about is if you're a content creator or you're an influencer, or even if you're just a person who seems to have a very, very respectable following on a certain platform like Twitter, so you got like maybe a couple of thousand followers, that if you now jump onto a brand new platform, you've got to start that over. And you got to start your following over. You got to sort of gain that influence over because it's a completely different marketplace. So even though you've got 5,000 followers on Twitter, you might be lucky and grab a couple of hundred of them on the Facebook, but you got to rebuild everything on the Facebook side. So it's very siloed platforms where you have to recreate your identity on each one of these platforms. So now, having said all of that, let's understand what is decentralized social. It is because it exists on a blockchain, and the DeSo platform is a DeSo blockchain. All social media data exists on this blockchain. Now, if anyone has an idea, or even if you don't have an idea about what the blockchain is, all you need to know for now is that a blockchain are a bunch of computers all over the world that handle and store the data. The data does not belong to any one of those computers. It is open data. It exists on all these blockchains, and there's a bunch of other technical things that happen with this, and I'm not going to get into that for now. What you need to know is that by storing information on the blockchain, it does not belong to any one central authority or person. It belongs to, it's open on the blockchain. And what's good about this is that you, as the person who posted that image or the content, that post, it reflects that it came from you. You are the content, or you are the content owner, not necessarily the owner of the image, but you are the person who posted it. And So the ownership is sort of given back to you now versus a central authority managing and owning this content. And I'm trying to make this, obviously, there's a lot more technicalities that go into this. So if I am not 100% accurate, it's just because I'm trying to keep things as simple as possible for everyone to understand. Now, when it comes to the DeSo platform, this is the brilliance of it, because on the DeSo platform, there are also many applications that exist. There is Diamond app, which is very similar to Twitter. It actually almost works exactly like Twitter. You post and you create followings, and you can direct message and like and repost. It's got all the functionality over there that you would have with Twitter for the most part. But then you've got Overcloud, which is a different kind of social application, which gives you the similarities of Twitter, but it also allows for stories. It allows for live streaming. So Overcloud's kind of giving you that Facebook feel, whereas Diamond is sort of very focused on giving you that Twitter feel. But now on Entre, which is where we are hosting this live room now, they've gone in a different direction. And while they give you more or less what the other social platforms are giving you, they're quite focused on decentralizing LinkedIn. So they're kind of creating their own version of LinkedIn that, but except that it's partially decentralized, and I think they're moving slowly but surely to that. But it's a place where you can build yourself your portfolio as a professional, and this is where we can host these online rooms, and you can sort of build career opportunities and all that kind of stuff. So we've got I've just mentioned three of the many applications that exist on this decentralized platform. But here comes the fun part. If I go onto the first one that I mentioned, which was Diamond app, which is like the Twitter for DeSo, and I go and post some content over there, which includes an image as well as some text. And on Diamond, I've got, let's say, 100 followers that are following me on Diamond, which is actually, it was the case this morning, by the way. But now I go on to Overcloud as an example. And on Overcloud, I wanted to do a live stream because that's what they offer that Diamond doesn't offer. The beauty behind everything is when I go on to Overcloud and I log in, I have my 100 followers from Diamond. And I have all my content that I posted on Diamond. It now exists. It exists on Overcloud as well. And if I create a live stream and the live stream starts, when you go onto the Diamond app, which just feels like a normal Twitter, lo and behold, there is a tweet that says, John Jardine has started a live stream on Overcloud. Click on this link and go and join him. So what's happening over here? Is it that they are just integrating with each other? So each apps have got APIs and they're just integrating with each other? And the answer is no, it is not that. What's happening is all content, the user profiles, all their analytical data, all transactions that are occurring exist openly on this blockchain, which means that any app that is built to feed off of this blockchain can take advantage of all this data that exists, which means that when I logged into Overcloud, it just went to the blockchain and said, oh, this is John Jardine's profile on the blockchain. He might have created the profile via Diamond, but I have him here and I know who his followers are. I know what his profile information is. I know all his posts. I know every repost and like that he's ever done. John can feel right at home and he can just carry on Overcloud where he left off on Diamond.
Yeah, it's truly an amazing concept that hasn't been done before. I'm sorry, I got to interject. The one thing we always talk about the profiles travel with you, but what happens on a blockchain too, your wallet, and then this is where people start to be like, wait, what? There's a wallet component on this blockchain that actually we haven't really touched about. Why is it called Diamond App? Well, if you're on Entre or if you're on any of one of the apps that exist on this blockchain, we have the ability, the moment you come on as a creator, and we are all creators. I look at this group here and you each have some value to offer to the world. What a decentralized platform does is bring the ownership back to the creator. When you're on Facebook and when you're on Twitter and when you're on Instagram, you do not own any of that. You are the product for Facebook and Instagram. You are creating content in which you are then being monetized by those centralized platforms. On DeSo, you are the product, you own that content, and there are ways to monetize that in a way that has never been done before on a centralized platform. The moment you join Diamond App, and if you're already on Entre and you look at the bottom of your screen and see where there's a little ticker there that says support, there's a little diamond, and this is across all the applications that are on the blockchain. I can like your posts, I can reclout your posts, I can comment on your posts, but the power is in when I can tell you I really enjoyed your post and I can diamond you. And it ranges anywhere from a penny, which is still a great, like, it's even you're not making a penny on a like anywhere, so a penny is a penny. But I've seen people receive $200 6 diamond drops for their information when they're here. So if you are really adding valuable content on this platform, you are actually making money daily. And I've been on the platform for 3 months. I am not an influencer. I'm not a creator. I'm a nobody, quite honestly. You can check by my following here on Clubhouse and across all the platforms. I've built a small following since I've been on DeSo, but daily, the diamonds. I actually know if you actually visit a website called openprosper.com, you can actually look at all the analytics of the blockchain and see what everyone is spending, what everyone's doing, every diamond that has been transacted. It is wild, but you can track on there. There's a calculator that'll tell you if I post X amount of times a day, right? I expect to get X amount of diamonds. How much money does that really get me? And it's amazing to think that you can come on a platform that you're already sharing your life on a platform somewhere else. And here we can actually appreciate you by actually tipping you a microtransaction the moment you come on. There's no need to hit some threshold that Twitter says you have to have X amount of followers to receive tips, or YouTube, you have to hit how many subscribers, or Twitch, oh, you got to have X amount of followers and X amount of active viewers constantly. The moment you join, you can say I'm eating eggs in the morning and I guarantee you it'll make 5 cents on that post. I mean, it's just a wild concept that all of a sudden you're a part of a community that cares that you are adding value to it. And that's how I feel about these. And that's why I talk about it. And didn't want to brush over that. We always say Diamond App and then forget to tell people that you're actually making money on the platform from day one. So yeah, it's a wild concept.
Yeah. And you know what, as you said, it's such a mind shift, and I think but it works almost counter. It's almost counter in that it scares people, and because now suddenly you're joining a social media platform where crypto is involved, because that's the thing as well. We're on a blockchain, and at the very core of a blockchain, in order to do anything, in order to store anything on a blockchain, there is a transaction that is required, so that transaction, that post is mined, and this gets very technical. But the long story short is that in order to even make a post that will exist on the blockchain, there is a transaction cost, a crypto cost, in order to store that post. And what happens, and I think the beauty of the DeSo blockchain as well is not only, like everyone knows, that the cost of, if you want to send $10 of Bitcoin from one wallet to another wallet, many of you know, like even if it's Ethereum, you got to be careful. It's almost going to cost you like $20 just to send $10, and that's because that is the cost of the transaction that needs to occur on the blockchain. But if you take a look at DeSo, the cost of a single post is 0.000000005 cents.
It's ridiculously cheap on this platform. That we've heard that if you were to do this exact same project on an Ethereum blockchain, each post would cost you over $40 just to do a single post. So they've made it so efficient. They figured it out in DeSo how to make these transactions. Yeah. Like if you had just one diamond when you joined, you'll probably post 1,000 times before that diamond would cost as gas fees. I mean, it's craziness how cheap it is. To give you a quick example, we have a few celebrities on the platform. Actually, there's probably more than I know of, but like Pamela Anderson is relatively active on the platform, and she's minted over 1,000 NFTs using the DeSo blockchain. And if you look up her stats, I don't think she's even spent a penny doing it. So it's a crazy cheap amount just to interact. It's a wild concept to grasp, but once you get it, you'll be like, this is it. This is the future. I mean, I can't be more excited. Keep going. I'm answering questions right now in the room chat on Clubhouse.
No, awesome, Alex. Thanks so much for helping out over here. And I think he's doing magic behind the scenes here as well. Every now and then I see a message from Keith, but he's gone and done things behind the scenes. He's like our producer, for lack of a better term, right now. But just to come back to these transaction costs again. Oh wait, Alfonso, you got a question?
Yeah, John, thank you. I didn't hear about the Diamond app. This is the first time I heard from it, and I just subscribed, and it feels like it's Twitter,
Yeah,
like the new Twitter.
There is so little in terms of using Diamond. It's a good point, Alfonso. In terms of using the Diamond app, you will feel like you're using Twitter. There is so little that's different. What is different is the tokenomics, for lack of a better term. It is the integration of crypto over and above just posting tweets, because like Alex said, you could have a post that where you could like a post, but you have also the option to tip that person who posted that content, to say, listen, thank you for the valuable content. Here's a diamond. A diamond represents $0.01. Okay, is that right? $0.001 or something like that. And that diamond represents that in DeSo coins, which is the cryptocurrency that is used on the DeSo blockchain. So by tipping that post, you are actually sending money to that person's wallet, which exists, which is the DeSo wallet that exists as a result of him or her creating the account. And as Alex mentioned before, that 0.0, that one diamond is enough to be able to have the finances to post hundreds of posts on the Diamond app and various other things. Now, yes, and again, to reiterate what Alex said, so many people log on to DeSo in the mornings, and similar to Twitter, they'll just post GM, good morning. That's all they do, is they post GM, good morning. And time again, I will go and see, and this person's received 5 diamonds. So I think it's the dynamic, but it's also the ability of, I can spend a diamond on that person because they are, I don't know, it was a friendly post or whatever. So even though there's crypto involved, it would scare a general person away, but there are things to understand where there shouldn't be any financial upfront investment at all if you actually know how to onboard yourself on the DeSo blockchain, and then the financial means to interact on the DeSo blockchain will happen organically. And I think that's the point that I'm trying to make. But the real problem over here is whether you like it or not, we are still on a blockchain, and because blockchain is still evolving, there are certain things that are a little bit trickier to set up and understand than what would be just posting something on Twitter or Facebook. Okay, for example, and like we said, when you register an account, now DeSo does something great over here, because have you ever set up a crypto wallet before? Okay, it's a nightmare, because you get the recovery phrase, you got to set up your account, you got to do some insane password, you got to create a recovery phrase which is like 12 to 16 words, which you are not even allowed to copy or screenshot. You're supposed to write it down on paper and put it away inside a vault and whatever. But why? Because your user account represents your wallet as well. And if someone hacks your account, guess what they have access to? They have access to those funds, and they can do what they want with those funds. So this is why it's very, very important to create that layer of security. But what DeSo has done to make it easier, and I appreciate the way they went about this, they allow you to actually connect onto DeSo using your Google account. So if you have a Gmail account, you're good to go. And what they do is that recovery phrase, you have to set up a password, but that recovery phrase, they go and store on your OneDrive, and it's encrypted and all kinds of good things. So they at least make the onboarding easier for people who are not yet ready to do the more advanced things. But the point that I'm trying to make is that even though this blockchain is trying to simplify some of the mechanics of of general blockchain usage, there are still a few things that are a mind shift for people. And so we're at a point right now that we've actually I got an initiative right now is I want to create a course, an onboarding course. It's called DeSo Essentials. And this course is going to be a video course. It's actually going to exist in video form, it's going to exist in audio form, and it's going to exist in written form. And it will be available on multiple platforms, including YouTube, including Medium, including wherever it can exist. And the purpose of this free course is to help people on board and climb onto DeSo and become part of the DeSo ecosystem, knowing the right things. And so that's the initiative right now, and I truly believe, and many of those on the DeSo truly believe as well, that with this kind of strategy, we are going to be able to eliminate some of the complexities that the blockchain bring to the table. And with a little bit of effort, with a little bit of going through some of the content that I'm going to create, you will find yourself connecting to the DeSo blockchain with no upfront investment and without being vulnerable to any user or person or bot that has already been set up on the environments for whatever may be. I don't know if you've ever faced that when you go onto Twitter or when you go onto Instagram. I remember when I started Instagram, oh my goodness, I thought I was the most popular thing since sliced cheese. I go inside there and I start getting all these follows just because I posted a joke and I thought, yo, am I awesome or what? And before I knew it, suddenly I've been blocked by 90% of the people, and suddenly I'm being spammed. And I'm sure a lot of people know how this goes, especially if you're trying to be a content creator. You face a lot of that nastiness, and this course is to assist with that on the DeSo blockchain. Not that it happens like that on the DeSo per se, but there are a few things that you need to know about the blockchain ecosystem, about the blockchain world, about NFTs. And this course is going to give you that foundational knowledge that you can enter the DeSo and you will know how to add value, and you will know how to get value, and you will know how to grow yourself as an influencer, as a content creator, or just as a social person on this blockchain. So yeah, that's something I'm working on right now. And just to end that off, it's if you had to go onto the DeSo platform right now, whether it be Diamond or whatever, you'll actually see that on DeSo, this is so cool, by the way, you can take any of your posts on Diamond and you can convert it into an NFT right then and there. It costs $0.2, and you can go and create an NFT, and you can go and set up all kinds of properties and royalties and all that kind of stuff. And then you can either sell it or do bidding and everything. There's no marketplace. It all happens on the social feed. It is such a mind shift. It's so awesome, actually. And that's exactly what I did with this course that I'm trying to create. I'm asking the community to help me out a little bit, just with a little bit of funding. And I'm doing that in the form of creating NFTs, 100 NFTs that you can purchase. Each NFT is $30. And by having that NFT, you actually own a small royalty share. Should the course ever generate any kind of YouTube ad revenue or any other kind of revenue, you're actually a royalty shareholder by owning one of those NFTs. And you can sell those NFTs later on for if you feel like you don't need it. And this is just some of the beauties that we are being exposed to right now.
I want to see if there's any questions. We've had a couple people come to stage on the Clubhouse side. If they want to join the conversation, we're going to try to see. I know that James had some points about that content should be not owned by anybody, which obviously, I mean, when you come to a platform like this, you are the owner. And then if anyone else on stage has questions, and I'll try to relay it to you so that we can include you in the conversation. And then obviously, I mean, we're just people that believe in this, right, John? I mean, like John and I just met a few weeks ago on the DeSo platform. He's like, we got to do more to get people here. I mean, we hear Elon Musk talking about decentralized social media, but people don't realize it's already here. And there's DeSo. So DeSo currently has 1.5 million users, and our active engagement is low because I think there's just not enough people here. So we're super excited to get more and more people into the system and understand what it's all about. And then, so just know that we're all early. It's not something that's polished. They're working on it. There's app creators creating apps on the blockchain constantly. A lot of new innovation coming in. There's the Designista twins on DeSo are working on a product called Story, STORI, which is going to be, it looks just like Instagram in my opinion, but on a blockchain with some twists. I don't know much about it, but like when you use filters on Instagram, the centralized platform, which I believe Facebook owns Instagram, correct? They're the ones controlling what you're able to put on your face and all these cool filters and stuff. They've come up with a system in which you now can create an NFT of a filter and sell it in their marketplace, that people who utilize this Instagram like product on the blockchain can now purchase your NFT, and now they have this custom filter that was user created. That has never been done before. That is like it opens up a different model in which the creator has some control and can monetize that content. So it's pretty wild in my opinion. So I have a lot of questions coming via text. Anyone on the stage want to ask any questions? We'll try to answer them the best we can, and we'll take some questions in the back. Bogdan, I see that you're having trouble creating your account. I think it's easier on diamondapp.com just to go to a computer versus a phone. That is just me. Diamond App was created by another developer that took the original app was called BitClout when it started just about a year ago in March. So this whole platform, the blockchain, is just a little over a year old. It is a little buggy. It's a little bit, everyone's trying to learn and figure it out, but there are over 200 different applications and nodes currently running on the blockchain. And everyone's just trying to do the best to keep everything going. I am on diamondapp.com. Refresh your screen. The way I would do it is I would sign up with the seed phrase. It's a random generated. I didn't do the Google Drive because I have like too many Google accounts, and I would never figure out where that seed phrase would go. So I've opted to write down all my seed phrases or put it in a Word document. I would sign up with a seed phrase, copy, paste that, put it in a text document, take a screen grab with your phone. That is your only way back into this wallet. And assuming, because all the diamonds are actually connected to the price of DeSo, which if you're on Coinbase, you can buy DeSo in Coinbase and invest in the coin. Like it's listed there. And then, check DeSo.org for the white paper. That's a great point, Mike. There's a lot of conversation going on here. On the stage, anyone have any questions they would like to ask John or anyone that's here talking?
Can you hear me okay?
I don't know. Can you hear him?
James, I hear you. How are you doing?
Perfect.
All right, good. All right, so definitely I congratulate you guys doing great work on the decentralization process, first of all. I always support any kind of, decentralization or disownership process. That's where we're heading all the time these days. But again, it's a responsibility to create decentralized systems, and you guys are taking step in that, and that's definitely admirable. And what my question was, of course, when you said, the ownership is in place. Like when you think about, companies owning data, it is a similar approach when creator actually owns the data as well. And in order to create true decentralization process, you have to create also disowned process too on this. Because, users can definitely, do the same thing what companies can do if they obtain enough power. There are, for example, celebrities who obtain big power like Elon Musk does on Twitter, for example. He acts like a company in Twitter, literally. And so he can, impose manipulation, control, or centralized, distraction to the user base. And this could create, unnecessary imbalance in blockchain if you use the blockchain. The idea about blockchain is to create true democracy, right? And so the question would be, how do we create a content, where we don't own the content, but still create the value? I would say, you would use the time factor because time is the only thing we should own. So I can maybe put my opinion there for you. I'm a system architect, by the way, and I create the ownerless infrastructure with the 25 years experience. And it's all blockchain, of course, but ownerless is much more valuable, in my opinion. If you can achieve that, and that requires additional algorithm, extraordinary thinking, but it is possible, and it's more powerful.
And I think I appreciate that perspective, James. I'm obviously not versed. We're not actually I'm not building on the blockchain. I'm just an end user. I would implore you to come and join us on DeSo App and diamondapp.com. Join the blockchain and add your voice, because the core team is looking for this type of feedback. There are many people building on the blockchain, and maybe you have a perspective that they haven't thought of, or they would definitely. It's a very open community. Everyone talks on it. And that's the reason we're here. We're cheerleaders for the platform. I'm not a dev. If you look at my profile, I'm a videographer of 33 years, so I'm definitely not in the same field whatsoever. I just it appealed to me as just a different option. That I like the fact of instantly being able to be valued for your contributions, and the fact that you yourself own your own content. So when I post something there, it is decentralized, but everybody does have access to the content, of course. And eventually, I do agree that a bad component could come in and utilize the same content that we all have access to. I'm hoping, obviously, ideally, that that's not the case, but it's still early. I know that there's a few people in here that would be better versed to talk about it. I see Conchi in the audience, and he's a developer on DeSo as well, and he's developing actually a metaverse that's phenomenal. If you want to take a look at something crazy, Astro World.
It's crazy, actually. I would say, but knowledge distribution is a very big responsibility, and we should definitely utilize quantum intelligence or artificial intelligence to create truly distributed ontology. I would say, as the dictionary of the knowledge. As you know, Google today is just totally commercial. The content is only distributed based on monetary benefit, and it basically navigates people based on their deceptive needs rather than conscious needs, conscious actually wants, because truly knowledge should not be a need. It should be more like a plan, I would say, and so it has to be really well thought in order to achieve true success, to reach to 8 billion. And that's what we're doing right now with the Korea project, United Citizens of Earth. I don't like to promote the, of course, process, but we got 2.5 million citizens right now in a short time. That's because of the trust, because it's ownerless. It belongs to the planet, and everything should belong to the planet, in my opinion. And blockchain is just a vehicle to achieve this purpose.
Yeah, I agree. That's powerful. Appreciate that perspective.
Yeah, sure.
Definitely join the conversation on DeSo. And if you have a chance, feel free to read the white paper at deso.org to give you more insight than I can even provide you. Zach, did you have something to say?
Yeah. Can everybody hear me?
We can hear you.
Very cool. First of all, thank you so much for letting me speak. I am super excited and I'm waiting on your course. Did you guys mention, I heard something about education earlier about a course, NFTs as a way to fund that. I would love to buy that NFT. Can you guys hear me?
Yeah, we can hear you. We're actually, we started this call on, if you go to joinentre.com, that's the platform that's quite like LinkedIn, but it's like has this blockchain component built in. We're actually streaming live on it where you can actually see all of us talking, and then we just came up with the idea of including Clubhouse, and I think we're also streaming live on Twitch now. It just became bigger in like a 2-minute conversation when it was just a few of us talking about it. John Jardine is actually creating a course to bring people into DeSo to make it more accessible. And like I said, we don't work for DeSo. We're just people that feel passionately about the blockchain and that this decentralized social media platform. We just want people to be aware of it. So we've kind of taken it upon ourselves. There's a few of us. There's probably a small army of users and developers that are so excited about it that like every day is just consumed in conversation about it. And John said, I'm going to take my talents and create a course But the problem is obviously we're self-funding. Everything's being self-funded. So the idea is to create this NFT in which you'll actually have, and he'll talk more about it, but you'll have an actual, like a piece of equity of the course and future courses that will talk about other stuff on the blockchain. I'm here just supporting because I just love the idea that I actually went out and bought the domain name welcome to DeSo.com just so that we can have a place to start putting this stuff so that you can go to DeSo.org and you can go to Diamond App, but like when you start getting there, and if you're just a layperson that has never dealt with blockchain or crypto, it's very overwhelming. Like all of a sudden you're like, oh my God, what's this seed phrase? Why am I have to doing this? We did have KYX like verification on there until recently, and I think that just fell off and might come back. And then there's like all this education when you're coming in for the first time that is daunting, to be quite honest. I just barely joined 3 months ago. Mike Goldrick, who's on the stage, brought me in and said, you got to check this out. And I was super excited, but I was super lost when I first got in. Even the conversations that people are having on DeSo, if you're not a developer, are like, what are these people talking about? You're like brought into this whole new world that is just mind-boggling. The Web3, the discussion on Web3 and blockchain and decentralized, it's out of control. But I think what John is trying to do here is really make it simplified so that people understand the concepts that are involved. And this project, I think, is a great step in that direction.
Yeah, and I think to answer...
and John, you can count with my help in Spanish, because here in Mexico, it's I think 10% of population. It's like I don't know, like 12 million people own Bitcoin. So we need to spread the word, as Triple say. And come with me. I can help with that.
I love that idea. So to repeat what Alfonso said quickly, the course content that I'm going to create it's going to occur in all three formats: video, audio, and text, for very good reasons. But even if it's in video format, there will most definitely be subtitles. And what Alfonso can do for me is he's willing to assist, making sure that there's not only English subtitles, but there's actually Spanish subtitles at the same time. And I think with a little bit of collaboration, this could really turn into something exciting that's not only accessible to in all three formats, but it's actually something that could be accessible to multiple countries in their native languages, even if it's just in subtitles. And I think that's great, Alfonso. I'll definitely take you up on that. Thanks so much for offering.
So while we're here, there's just breaking news that hit. We might as well put it on the show. Twitter has accepted Elon Musk's bid to buy Twitter. So that just happened, and that can start asking questions. That'll start generating more questions on: is he going to keep it a centralized platform, and what now giving the richest man on earth a centralized social media platform? What is that going to do to the entire landscape? More reasons to think about decentralized platforms.
Hey, this is Zach from Clubhouse. Can I speak for a quick?
Oh yeah, sure, Zach.
Okay. I could probably find a recording me saying that it's so obvious that he's going to buy Twitter. They just put up the poison pill or whatever just to make it seem like they fought. They're like, they went down without a fight, right? It's very obvious that they were going to buy Twitter. Elon was going to buy Twitter. And this is where I want to get into something called CDSO, right? It's centralized, decentralized social, right? Where decentralized platforms still have a play, right? But where there's more decentralization. So we've already seen stuff like this just naturally evolve, like the .eth domains, right? A lot of people don't know what an ENS domain really is, but these things are very powerful. And you tie your Ethereum wallet address to your domain name, and you can receive payments and do all these interesting stuff. And your NFTs could be tied to your Ethereum address and your top level domain name. So I think that's very interesting. So I think Web 2.5 will really
exactly.
Anyway, I just want to ask a question about that.
Sure.
Is anybody here familiar with unstoppable domains and like ENS domains and even like SNS domains on Solana? I know a lot of people are not familiar with this stuff, but what are your guys' thoughts?
I've got a bunch of unstoppable domains. You can even go to like johnjardine.nft and johnjardine.dao, and I've got a bunch more. Not that I'm hoarding them, it's all actually just for my projects. And I love Unstoppable Domains, and I love what they're doing, because they're also trying to create like this one account, one type of identity to sort of connect to all these platforms. And I would love to see how one of the devs on the DeSo blockchain can also use Unstoppable as some sort of alternative instead of just using a Google account. So that is definitely was a great question that was asked over there. And then the second one, and I have to say this, we've got a Debo M. She doesn't want to give me her name. I'm going to leave it at that. But she is our first NFT purchaser for the course. So Debo M, thank you so much for being the first one to purchase the NFT. I really appreciate it. That's absolutely crazy. You're also brand new to the platform, so I've also followed you. She's Debo M on DeSo, and I've definitely given you a follow as well. And I just want to say thank you so much. It's one step closer to making this course a reality.
She's new to. I think, to be honest, I think she's new to Entre. I think she's a long time DeSo
let me see.
person. Yeah, I think so. I've seen the name before. I could be wrong.
Oh, I bet.
Woohoo!
Oh yeah, you're right. She's already got 112. She's got more followers than me. Sorry about that, Debo M.
I just wanted to make sure.
I saw she said she was still new. I didn't realize it was to Entre. My bad. But thanks once again. That was just awesome. It's great to see this. Keith,
where do I buy this? I need to get on now. Dang it, I'm on here. I'm coming. I just transferred money from my Coinbase wallet to my DeSo wallet so that I can do this to be the first, and Debo beat me. So I'm excited about it. I'm ready to put this up. Everybody that knows me on DeSo knows I'm the cheerleader. I want to. I've offered the core team to go dress up in a diamond mascot in front of the Man Chinese Theater in Hollywood and scream DeSo all day. They haven't taken me up on the offer, but the offer's still out there.
I think it's just a really exciting time. If you take a look, I mean, this is not even really part of this, but if we talk about another app that's going to exist on the DeSo platform soon, is my Metability app. Now, the Metability app is a learning management. It's a learning online course system, but it's going to be using the DeSo mechanics so that you can learn to earn. And by going through course content, you are going to be able to earn crypto. And so there's actually something in it, not only for content creators that can publish their course on this platform, but for also learners. And there's events and all kinds of things where NFTs and all kinds of crazy rewards are going to be up for grabs. And this is just yet, I think so far I'm going to be one of the first learning platforms on DeSo. I'm trying my very best to keep that the case, but yeah, I've got a couple of things to still work out before that goes live. It's currently in its beta phase. If anyone's listening and if you want to go check it out, it costs you nothing. You go to metability.io and you will see it's a gamified learn to earn platform where you level up and you've got a score and you've got all kinds of crazy things, and it's all Web3 content. A lot of it is technical, but this course that we're speaking about tonight or today, that's the DeSo Essentials, is, guess what? It's going to feature on that Metability over and above the other platforms that it will feature on, except that Metability is going to give you opportunity to earn whilst learning the course, which is a great thing for everyone, right? So yeah, it's just probably one of the many exciting things as we innovate on these platforms, these are the kind of things that are going to come up.
I'm mad that I didn't get number one, so I'm actually buying one of your NFTs right now. So I think
Keith was also a bit bummed out, I think.
It's crazy that we met. Says, hold on.
Yeah, I'm in New York, so my DeSo has to go through Bitcoin only. I can't just buy DeSo. So I have to go this long route through Coinbase and everything. So it still hasn't hit.
Okay.
I've been texting back and forth with Scott also. If you had joined us last week, we had Scott Page from Pink Floyd. He was a saxophonist on their album. We have an exciting event happening at the end of the week where he's really invested, obviously, in the NFT space as well. And we'll be live streaming a concert of his on Friday. But I told him I'll call you at noon, and then I'm texting him from the clubhouse like, we're in this clubhouse. You should come check it out. I'm gonna be late to our call, which I'm already late, so we'll do it later. But super exciting. There's so many people that you meet on DeSo, and you'll never know. I'm trying to buy your thing right now. You do not have enough. Oh yeah, apparently my wallet does not have enough money in it. Hold on, let me see if the transfer went through. That's what's wrong.
Are there any other questions or anything that I can maybe discuss? Maybe this is a good point that I could probably discuss. There's only 100 NFTs right now. So each NFT is $30 and it makes up $3,000. This is to finance the first phase of this course. And this is the onboarding phase, which gives users everything they need to know in order to become sort of like very efficient on the DeSo platform and knowing all the rules and feeling comfortable and feeling as if they are part of the platform and they know the ins and outs of it from a user perspective.
Explain why we would like to buy an NFT. I know the course is going to be free for anyone to watch. Obviously, there's obviously a reason why we'd want to buy into the course.
Yeah. Okay, so let's put it this way. Are you saying why buy an NFT as opposed to just help funding directly sending some money?
No, I'm saying like this course is going to be offered to the world for free, correct? There's a reason why we're buying the NFT to support you in the project.
Correct. The primary reason to support me in the project is more for, and it was more focused on the evangelists and the advocates of the DeSo platform to sort of centralize efforts from a funding perspective to help me get the course up and running. And the course is generic in such a way that it can be used by anyone. It's not a course that fixates on John Jardine has created the DeSo Essential course. It is a course that is very, very generic. It's done in a professional way with animations and sort of soft background music, and it can be used by anyone developing apps for the DeSo platform. It can be used by anyone who wants to create communities and meetups and use the content in order to onboard their followers. It is a generic set of tutorials that can exist in many different facets, in many different scenarios. It is not a John Jardine's course content, for lack of a better term, even though it's my voice that's explaining stuff, but you get what I'm saying. So it's generic and it's there to assist advocates and the DeSo core team as well, and the app developers of the DeSo platform, because anyone right now, if you're a new app developer and you want to onboard people, how are you going to go and explain to them how to get on board a decentralized social blockchain? It's unfortunately not as easy as just getting onto Facebook. There are one or two extra things you need to keep in mind, and that's the intention of this course. Maybe break it up into two questions, Alex. The first question is, why are we funding you? What do we get out of it? I think maybe that's the first question. And the second question then is, why is this funding in the form of an NFT versus just giving you some crypto into your wallet so that you can go ahead and go do the course, right? So can I answer them in those two phases?
And that works for me. I'll start listening to what they're saying in the back channel. I just bought the NFT. I'm number 2. So
brilliant.
I'm mad at you, Debo, but I will still support the project.
I see it. It's awesome.
If you can send me the link, I need to leave because I'm gonna pick up my daughter from the school.
Yeah.
No worries. Buy another NFT later. And thank you for the chat. It was really great talking with you.
Before you leave, Alfonso, what's your name on DeSo so I can follow you there?
And I have a news channel on Spanish, of course, and in every day. So if anyone want to talk or something, we can manage. I wanna.
If you want to talk, have you heard me talk at all? I could talk all day long.
Yeah, me too.
Will it be
most of these topics, right?
Will it be Spanish based? Will it be a Spanish based conversation, Alfonso?
Yeah, if you know Spanish, yeah. No, it's okay. We can talk in English.
But we'll definitely help you. Yeah, we'll help promote that channel. That's for sure. Thanks so much for your support today, and thanks so much. Alfonso, it was great to meet you. Awesome.
Great to meet you too.
I see the link.
We have to.
Yeah. I see your link. I'll definitely follow you on DeSo, and we're definitely going to connect.
Thank you. Have a good day.
Cheers,
You too.
Alfonso. Alfonso from Mexico. Awesome, man. I'm from South Africa. Let's quickly answer those two questions, because I think probably a lot of people are like, okay, but why do you want to fund this thing in the first place? And I think the answer is, number one, the funding is the amount of $3,000 is, there's no particular reason for that amount except that it is covering a subset of what it's going to cost me in order to create and publish and broadcast and sort of do everything as a content creator that I need to do in order to get the first phase of this course out. Keeping in mind that the first phase is the onboarding phase. It's for the end user. That's the goal of the first phase. There are additional phases to this course. The second and third are focused on more advanced principles within the DeSo ecosystem, how understanding and mastering the various different kind of apps, how to understand the analytics, how to maybe start seeing DeSo from a content creator perspective, from an influencer perspective, and various other. And then it actually gets more and more advanced in the future phases of the DeSo Essentials, where it starts it really starts diving deep into the mechanics of the creator coins and how the investing takes place and strategies around, because I think right now the DeSo core team has given us all these tools, and we're sort of just running with it because they've given us a white paper. Their white paper gives us a breakdown of what to do, but at the end of the day, we're ultimately going to sort of convert this and turn this into the strategies that are going to make sense at the end of the day. Right now, there's no particular document or strategy guide as to how to best use your creator coin. And I'm sure a lot of people on the Clubhouse are like, what's a creator coin? Because we haven't even really spoken about that in depth. But it is something that exists right now, but it's as volatile as Bitcoin on the best of days. And but it's an opportunity for people to invest in others. And there is so much innovation waiting to happen with those concepts. We've just got to we're in the teething processes right now, but I digress. So the future phases of the courses are going to delve into those recipes and those scenarios to give people the means to understand what can be done, and obviously use that knowledge in order to build a sort of a bigger innovation platform on the DeSo blockchain. So yes, the funding basically helps me convince those who I answer to why I'm going to be spending the next 2 weeks to deliver this first phase of the course. So there's a lot of politics behind that, but why is it an NFT? Maybe let me answer that question. Because instead of just saying, John, here you go, yes, here's some funding, go and do what needs to be done, go and get this course out there. What I've done is I've said, okay, instead of just giving me the funds, here's an NFT that represents the funds you have given me. Here's an NFT. This NFT is on the DeSo blockchain. It's permanent. The NFT also comes, if you actually had to see it on the DeSo blockchain, it's not just a picture, everyone. Yes, it has a picture because everyone wants to see something, but it is actually a contract as well. It's got a whole section that explains what I'm going to be doing. It explains how you as a person who owns this NFT are going to potentially even benefit from it. You'll be able to resell the NFT maybe later on if this course takes off and people want to own one of these NFTs. You'll be able to sell it. But having this NFT, each of the 100 NFTs represents 1% of a 5% royalty against the entire DeSo course. Should any revenue come back in as a result of that course being available on various platforms like Medium, YouTube, and various others that actually generate income, potential income, as a result of those courses being on there and becoming quite popular. So in YouTube's case, yes, at such a time when that course is on at a point where it's become very popular, generated enough watch time and followers on the channel so that YouTube switches on advertising and the courses generate revenue, you as an NFT creator or you as an NFT holder, you now get to see a portion of that 5% royalties that come back. It actually comes back to you as DeSo coin into your wallet. That is handled via me. I will build the tools and the analytics in place. This is not something I can guarantee, and I state that inside the NFT contract. I'm not here to sell daisies and make empty promises. I am a normal person on the DeSo blockchain. I'm not part of the DeSo team, and I think it needs to be understood. I am not part of the DeSo team at all. I am only the last few weeks on DeSo, but in my other areas, in the other things that I specialize in, I am an influencer and content creator. So all I'm doing over here is I'm saying in this new space, which is the DeSo space, It is lacking that right now. It is lacking content creators to create this course content that can really do something with this platform and put it in the right hands and get it out there to the right people. I can do that, but I cannot just, I'm not in a position to do that absolutely at my own risk and at my full investment. And unfortunately, I cannot do this fully by myself. I need just a little bit of buy-in from the community, and that's what this NFT fundraiser is for, if that makes sense.
And we're just passionate. The people that are talking right now, John just came up with, like, he's already been doing courses on how to build, how to dev and all this, and came upon DeSo and just realized that there's such an opportunity to get more people here. I think that's pretty much all of us. Keith Tully, who's on the stage here on the Entre stage as well. We're just kind of realizing when you finally get in and you see it, and you realize the opportunity that it affords everybody, it's hard not to kind of try to get involved. Entre just posted 3 minutes ago on DeSo. We're here for this, so they're actually listening as well, which is pretty amazing that we get support from. We're just users of this platform, right, John? You and I come on here, we do streams all the time, and then to have Michael Mara, the founder of Entre, show up to one of our streams, or Shantron show up and like, we're here to support you to spread the word, is like the amount of support that, I mean, I don't think you're getting, like, Zuckerberg isn't appearing in any like Facebook group to offer you his support to you. I don't think he cares, but I think it's obvious and very apparent that the people that are integrating with the DeSo blockchain, and they're very accessible. We just celebrated in Los Angeles about a month ago, the DeSo 1 year anniversary. It was a community-led event in which the core team actually donated some money so that we can actually just throw a party amongst us all in Los Angeles. It was attended by about 70 people in person, another 70 to 80 people on Club Connect virtually around the world. And we had no expectations of anyone actually from the core team coming to the event. It was truly just people that were on the platform. And we were honored by actually 3 of the core team showed up. Natter himself, the guy who, like, I consider him our Zuckerberg, basically, of the DeSo blockchain, and for him to take the time out of his evening and come out and answer questions and hang out and take pictures, probably one of the most memorable times I've had. I mean, there's many, but on DeSo, there's video of it on multiple platforms. Musai.stream actually has a copy of that video of the DeSo anniversary. You can see Natter and see some of the people that you'll start recognizing names. And then all of a sudden, the collaborations begin. That's how it works out, that how we all gonna make it. The whole WAGMI thing is really a big thing, a part of DeSo. And this is just a part of it. Like, John has this need, and I think the community will see his vision and come together to help him fund this. That it's basically just helping everyone else. That's why I'm in on a project like this. When I first got here, John, I'll be honest. I mean, there's like Maintain the Reason and DOZ were in this Zoom that said to me, like, you'll figure out your way when you get here. I said, like, I'm not going to be buying digital art. That, like, it ain't going to happen. I'm not interested in developing an app. I'm not like, I had all these reasons like I was not interested in this space. And not only have I created NFTs and have a sizable NFT collection, not only have I invested in other projects on the platform, I'm all in. Like, I told this story yesterday, but people in Clubhouse didn't hear. My wife sent me to the store yesterday for 12 items on a list, and she called me an hour and a half in asking me what's taking so long. And I had onboarded 3 people at the supermarket already. So I am constantly telling people to get on this platform because I believe in it. Do I know its future? No. Do I guarantee that we're all going to, be successful on it? No. But if you put in the time and you're present and become a part of it, I think we're really a part of a movement that's giving the power back to the people, and people like Keith Tully that are here on Entre, and John Jardine, myself, and all the people you see in the Clubhouse, Tobias that's here, and Debo M, and they're all a part of this community, DeSo, and see the power of it. I see other names here that I Conchi. I wish Conchi would come on stage. That's like, we could probably spend an hour on Conchi's project, Astro Nation, and the metaverse that he's been building for the last 7 years. The talent and the people you'll meet on DeSo, that enough is almost enough just to jump. And if nothing else happens and you meet the right person that changes your life trajectory, that's my pitch for DeSo. I'm going to hand it back to John because he has important things.
Before that,
oh, go ahead. What's your question?
So, we are trying to kind of integrate with partners right now. And so, I don't know if you have any API work or any partnership work to, join the communities together or create, community infrastructure together.
I can throw this out there for all the technical folk in case they're curious. If anyone is interested on building or integrating with the DeSo blockchain, then as Alex said, if you go to deso.org, right there on the front page, they have a get started, which will allow you to go and see their technical documentation. But in short, for now, at the very core, every means of integration into the DeSo blockchain is via HTTP requests. So that's the good news. It's actually quite easy. The second thing is that there's already a Node.js module that exists to simplify interacting with their API layer, especially when it comes to the likes of authentication and all the various general tasks that you would end up doing. And right now, and that exists for now. I know that there are one or two other plugins as well. And what I'm currently busy with is I'm extending that Node module and I'm creating React hooks to simplify even that process, because the Node modules, you need to kind of know what you're doing in order to use it within your React applications. As an example, I'm a React specialist, so I'm even now building React hooks. But at the very core, it's an API layer of HTTP requests. If that answers your question.
Well, I guess I just need to do research also, how we can work together, integrate all this.
And reach out to any one of us once you get to DeSo. I'm seeing my notifications blowing up on Diamond App right now.
Yeah, I'm also quite busy on Diamond App right now. I think this meetup today exceeded my expectations, and Alex, I need to thank you as well. You just created so much presence inside this room and bringing in your connections and stuff. So I can't thank you enough. It was great to chat to everyone, and it was great to be exposed to a lot of people that I haven't even had an opportunity to connect with. So it's been awesome.
So is DeSo going to be a DAO? That's a great question. It is in the works. The DeSo core team, and we'll probably touch because we could spend another hour or two on DAOs, but DeSo is actually launching a program, another platform called DAO. That's coming out soon. It's also existing on the DeSo blockchain. It's a DAO exchange, if that's the best way to put it. If you go to DAODAO.com, I think you can read a little bit about it. I'm the wrong person to discuss this for sure. And I will guarantee you that when it launches, John Jardine will have a course on it for sure.
It's one of the phases. DAO is one of the phases. So just for what happens now is, you can actually purchase an NFT, a specific NFT that entitles you to the DAO coin or the DAO coin or whatever you want to call it. And of which I have one. Alex, you've got one. And
yeah, I do.
And what happens is having this NFT allows us early access into it the moment it launches, but no one really has access to it right now. However, I have had access to its white paper and what they're trying to achieve, and I've already seen some of the DAOs that have already been created. And all I can say at this time is they are trying to simplify and automate even the very process of creating DAOs, and which exists on other platforms, make no mistake, but they just want to make sure that that very same offering is available on the DeSo platform. So all that I can say is, in terms of DAOs, they are definitely making sure that when they do launch this DAO platform, which is DAO, they are trying to create the simplest version of it, so that it's definitely not a deterrent. But based on what I know, all I can guarantee is that it will be a phase in the course that I want to create. I just don't know which phase it will be, because I'm at the mercy of them releasing the damn thing.
Yeah, exactly. This would have been a DAO, right? The entire NFT project would have been a DAO had the DAO.
Exactly. Exactly. And I had a choice to make because, and I really, because for example, I know Keith also mentioned earlier on, John, why aren't you posting this on Twitter? And the thing is, this is a DeSo campaign, and it just didn't feel right having it, trying to get it out there on other platforms and stuff. But the other thing was, even though there wasn't a DAO available, I thought of maybe going to another DAO, but again, I needed this, it needed to exist in some way or form on the DeSo platform. Otherwise, I don't know, I would have felt like a little bit of a, well, what's the right word? But long story short is, even though there wasn't a DAO, I used the NFT capabilities instead on the DeSo blockchain and just went with that. So it kind of gave me a small bit of what I needed, except that I am not granting, we're not automated, which is what the DAO gives you, right? So now I'm still governing the NFT project, and the campaign is still governed by me, if you think about it. Where the DAO would have been governed by a smart contract.
Yeah, that would be interesting. And just by discussing DAOs with you, you've simplified it just the way you're able to articulate it in a simple way. Yesterday, I even asked you to explain me because it is confusing for someone that's never dealt with the DAO or what a smart contract is and what that all means. You definitely have a way of doing it. So I think the course that you're putting out is invaluable to bringing more and more people to DeSo and understanding the concepts that we're trying to discuss. Any questions or any last words, John?
No, I think we've done a great job here.